brace yourselves because this story I'm about to tell you is absolutely insane. I never thought in my many, many years on the planet that I would see the day when they would actually catch a famous person swerving and driving erratically on the roads. Not only that, but when asked about their behavior, they said it wasn't them. It's going viral because, as you guys know, this is the first of a sighting like this where there's a famous person just driving erratically. And it is a lot for us to take in. It's a lot. Thankfully, though, there are news reports about it just all over the place. So we can really dive in and see what's going on here. Like I said, this is absolutely just outrageous. It's outrageous. So, what am I talking about here, guys? Well, Britney Spears was spotted driving erratically after a night on the town with some of her friends. Now, I must say, this time it seems Britney kind of got herself into her own hot water. And even though, in my opinion, they definitely are picking on her and blowing this way out of proportion, her behavior still is pretty bad on this one. And you guys know I love Britney. I think they need to leave her alone. And yeah, so I'm kind of torn with this whole thing. Basically, they're ripping her apart and calling her crazy because of some poor driving and an Instagram post. So we're going to have a look at some of a video I found by Nancy Grace. You know, they dissected this behavior. She had a bunch of different experts in to kind of take a look at what happened and just try to make sense of it. All sarcasm and jokes aside, guys, I do have to say this. I do not in any way, shape, or form condone drunk driving. It's very irresponsible behavior. There are many, many ways to get home if you plan on having a night out with your friends, especially when you've got as much money as Britney. Okay. And so if she was in fact under the influence, then yeah, she's an asshole for doing that. But there's always more to the story. So let's have a look.
Pop icon Britney Spears was spotted enjoying a night out in Westlake, California, seeking a fun evening with friends. However, the evening took a dramatic turn when paparazzi captured her in what appeared to be a reckless act.
Is it real? That looks like Britney Spears to me.
It looks like Britney Spears to me too, girl.
What happened? Listen.
Britney Spears' behavior spiraling out of control, and family seriously considering nuclear option, an intervention to put a stop to the slide. As ex-husband Kevin Federline releases book You Thought You Knew about fighting Britney for his children, Britney is captured on video at upscale restaurant Red O, looking sloppy, her yellow top slipping off her shoulders.
I mean, oh my God, an off-the-shoulder top was off her shoulders?
Dropping items on the floor.
She dropped something too? It's just looking worse and worse for her, isn't it?
Steady on her feet and wobbles lifting her glass as if to toast the entire restaurant.
I mean, what do you expect when you're going on a night out with your girlfriends? I don't understand. Britney, girl, you need to run. Change your name, change your face, go into hiding, take down your social media, go live under a rock somewhere because they are coming for you. And they're not going to stop until you are back in a conservatorship.
With us, an all-star panel to make sense of what we are learning tonight straight.
I love how they have to have an all-star panel to make sense of a girls' night out.
Out to Jessica Finn, senior investigative reporter, U.S. Sun. Jessica, what happened exactly? I know Britney is now saying that wasn't me. So should I believe her or my lying eyes? That looks like Britney to me. Let's see the video again while Jessica's reporting.
Yeah, it sure does look like Britney. I mean, I think she's pretty recognizable at this point in her life. And unfortunately, it's not for all the good reasons or the right.
Stuff like this ticks me off. You really have to throw in that she's recognizable, but not for any of the good reasons. Come on, you don't have to throw that in. It's like trying to get a little dig in or something. It's so ridiculous. The language that they use when they're describing this whole entire situation, I could see how it could shift opinions just because of the way they word things. You know, she's recognizable, but not for any of the good reasons.
Britney was at the restaurant, clearly having a good time, partying it up, stumbling around.
If she was out at a restaurant having a few drinks with her friends, she was probably a little bit intoxicated. And that's what intoxicated people do, right? They stumble around.
Was raising a glass to the restaurant. And then we see her actually getting into her car. And this is where things get pretty scary and dicey for not only Britney, but for anybody else that might be coming into contact with her on the road. She flips a U-turn in front of the restaurant after exiting. And then she continues to drive. And the paparazzi who are following her, you can You hear them kind of quietly saying, keep your distance. And I think that that's not only to not scare her, but also for their own safety.
It's like they're dealing with a wild animal. Keep your distance from the bears. You don't want to scare them and you don't want them to attack you now.
She's driving down the road. She's driving on a really dark roadway. The only lights on in front of her are her own lights. And she's crossing the middle line. And then she's swerving into the shoulder. And at one point, she actually almost ends up in the dirt on the shoulder, which is super scary because then she could have totally spun out at that point.
They've got to list the things that she didn't do in with what she did do to kind of make us feel like it's worse than it is.
You also see her actually not only in the center line, but riding in the center line where oncoming traffic would be. We also see her riding down those reflector strips. And those reflector strips are meant to alert the driver that there's danger, that they're crossing into lanes that they shouldn't be in. And I don't understand how she's not shaken, or made more aware of this. She seems to continue to drive on those reflector bumps despite being in them. And it's a really terrifying scene. And again, this isn't just Britney who's in danger here. It's anybody else that's on the road with her.
That's 100% true. Why, if it's so fucking dangerous, does nobody call the police? Then we wouldn't be sitting here asking ourselves, was Britney intoxicated? Was she on drugs? What was Britney's state during these events? Because the police would have pulled her over, done a blood test or a breathalyzer or whatever, and we all would know. I would also like to point out that you've got Britney alone in her car driving down these back roads all by herself. Who's to say she's not driving erratically, partly because she's terrified that she's being followed by this vehicle for miles and miles and miles.
Now, I've covered and investigated and prosecuted
Look how
vehicular
dangerous that
homicides.
is. They could have contacted the police right when she busted that illegal U-turn. They could have contacted the police. Hey, we followed, we're behind Britney Spears. She just pulled a U-turn. She's driving erratically. Here's our location. Send a unit out here to get her off the road before she gets injured or kills somebody else. And what's funny to me is that they probably didn't call the police because they were hoping she would crash and they were hoping that they could get, Britney getting all messed up in a car accident on video.
Could be the result of anything. It could be drunk driving, driving under the influence of drugs. It could be distracted driving, texting while driving, looking in the back seat while driving, putting on makeup while driving.
Being followed by a car full of paparazzi while driving.
I don't care. Now, Spears' camp has made a point to say that was not her in the video and she was not drinking. I would give that statement more credence if they just said she wasn't drinking.
The thing about it is, if they say she wasn't drinking, anybody would see that behavior then would say, oh, well, that's, obviously she's crazy then. If she wasn't even intoxicated during this erratic driving and this behaviors, then obviously she's totally insane. So she can't say anything in this situation, to be honest.
As that is absolutely Britney Spears in that video. There is her bizarre claim. If anyone...
This doesn't seem too bizarre to me. I would look at this and think she's probably just being a jerk, messing around, whatever. And at the same time, she's not admitting that it was her. I wouldn't take this as a bizarre statement. I wouldn't say that Britney thinks she has a lookalike and Britney thinks she has a doppelganger, because that's what this video is kind of making it out to be like.
I was wondering, the lookalike was not me. Dave Mack, tell me about the driving antics, the erratic driving in a video that has now gone viral. What specifically happened with the driving?
Nancy, as she pulls out, there's a clearly marked...
Now, there's the clearly marked no U-turn sign. And watch how quickly paparazzi gets right back behind her. And you can see that they're on the same side of the road that she was. They've got to make the same illegal U-turn to get behind her.
Sign saying no U-turn, which she just pulls a U-turn anyway, and then squeals her tires as if to pick up speed even quicker. So she's already right off the bat going dangerous. But then
maybe she's trying to get away from the paparazzi in the vehicle following her. And who knows how many of them there are.
She really has trouble maintaining her lane. It's not just once or twice. It's constant. She's
constant. So they're following her for miles and miles and miles. And she's constantly recklessly driving. And instead of contacting the police, they just want to get this video, right? This is the whole point. They just want the video. So they allow this behavior. They allow this dangerous, reckless driving where she can not only injure herself, but others, all to get a video and then talk shit on her later.
Never in the lane the way she's supposed to be. And
it's not like she's never in the lane. I don't like that either, because she's swerves out of the lane quite often, but it's not like she was never in the right lane.
It's been pointed out as you watch the video, it's dark. She seems to be the only car on the road. But, if she hit that shoulder and tried to overcorrect, what happens. The dirt gets under the wheel. She loses control, and we got a mess.
Here she is, all alone on this big deserted road. It's dark out. She's got these weirdos following her. Why did nobody contact the police?
But she never is actually maintaining her lane. She's constantly crossing the center line, which poses problems for anybody, because if she is that out of control, if another car comes along at the wrong time, we're not doing this story about her life going down the toilet. We're actually going to be doing a story with her obituary.
Vehicular homicides. That's not what we want for Britney Spears. But let me ask you, Dave Mack, you've never pulled a Yui? Are you really going to go on national TV and say that? You've never done a U-turn?
Nope. Only pointing out that, this is a woman who is recognized around the world. Her ex-husband has just released a book about his life with her, and she acts like she's having to run away from paparazzi, which she really isn't, Nancy. When you see the video, she's not surrounded with just bulbs going off everywhere. She has no reason to do something like that. But again, you got people watching your every move. Is this?
So he just says, it's not like she has paparazzi following her and bulbs going off every which way. And then the next sentence is, you have these people watching you. So which is it? You're contradicting yourself completely and totally.
Is this really the image you want to put out there for everyone in the entire world?
Okay, you know what, Dave Mack, did I ask you about Britney Spears' image? No. I asked you, had you ever pulled a Yui? And you kind of stuttered. So, yes, you have. Stuttering is a sign of lying.
I think we get the picture here, right? Now, again, I don't condone this drunk driving if that's in fact what it was. It seems like it was. Be more responsible, because there's no reason you should be out drinking and driving if you were. But it's not the first famous person that we're going to see in this type of situation. It certainly won't be the last. So please try not to exacerbate the whole situation into, Britney's totally insane for doing it, because we've seen it before. Well, that was all I have for you. I'm not going to watch through the rest of this. I get too fired up on these. I can only take them small increments at a time, guys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Subscribe. Britney girl, you need to run.